What is good, YouTube? And y'all might look at the screen, unusual screen. We're gonna do a tier list. So I don't want nobody typing in the comment section below saying this is better than that. This is a personal tier list, and some of that is used basically every single takeover in the game. I know what's good and I know what's bad. I'm gonna show y'all why I put it on that specific spot and the uses of it if you're curious on what each takeover really does. So I'm gonna start off by the takeover that we got right here, which is a glass takeover. Very underrated takeover. Now, the place that I'm gonna put this in is B. The reason why is because it's mid. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. It's in the middle, to be honest, because the only thing that it does is it could push defenders out the way when grabbing a rebound and see where the rebound is, and also what it does is once you get a rebound, you can click square to shove somebody out the way and then take up a putback. A putback is when you grab the rebound, you take the bucket up right away. So honestly, it's B. I would put it at C, but it's not even that good. If you're a big man, I do prefer to run rim takeover way over this. This should probably be rim takeover is going to be over this. Actually, I'm going to put this on C tier because the uses of it are kind of pointless. The reason why I say this is because you don't really need it. Grabbing rebounds in this game has always just been who's better at grabbing rebounds. If you're a glass cleaner and you're versing a demigod, you're gonna horse them 80% of the time. You don't need glass takeover. If you're a big man versus a big man, it's whoever's gonna be better at grabbing rebounds. It's rarely because he has glass takeover. It's usually just who has the better positioning. And bounces in this game are terrible. When the ball hits the rim on 2K23, it'll bounce literally anywhere. It's luck. C tier is like where it should stand. Lock takeover, I'm putting it on B. Now, this is controversial because everybody runs lock takeover. It's not that good. Main reason why I say it's not that good is because it only really helps you on perimeter. I can still, like, when somebody has lock takeover on me, I'm gonna go with rim take. I'm gonna choose rim takeover next. Either way, it's not in the order because it just makes more sense. To be honest, it doesn't make any sense why you would run lock takeover. I would put rim takeover honestly on S tier compared to lock takeover, because lock takeover, the only thing it really even does is it just makes it so and then you can just play better perimeter defense. Like, it doesn't have really any use. Like, if you were to have any takeover, glitch rim takeover on, it's so OP. The reason why I say this is because with rim takeover, when somebody takes a dunk on you, it has a very high chance of the dunk not even going into the net. When you have lock takeover, the dunk is most likely still going to go into the net. There's the occasion that it's going to miss, but there's an occasion that it's going to miss even if the defender just has anchor on. If they just have anchor on, the dunk could miss. I've seen it happen with no takeover at all. So I say rim takeover is higher. Opinion is opinion, because to be honest, this takeover, like lock takeover, honestly, I've seen it. It's pointless. Unless if you're like a 6'9" and you need defense badly, put it on. But if you're short guard, put on rim take. Even if you're a tall big, put on rim take. It's way better than lock take. Playmaking takeover D tier. Don't run this thing. It's so pointless. I don't want a single guy running this. Even if you're a 6'1" short demon, don't run this dumb takeover on. I've used it. It is so pointless. I've used it with Hall of Fame ankle breaker. You don't snatch any ankles. It's pointless. If you watch my video, that video was a struggle. It was a 2-hour recording to get one ankle breaker. I spent 2 hours with Hall of Fame ankle breaker, and this Playmaking Takeover on, it took me like an hour and 30 minutes to get a single ankle breaker, and nobody runs ankle braces. So this is bad. It's not a good takeover. Post-scoring takeover, A tier. I'm gonna bring it at an A tier. The reason why I'm saying it's not an S tier is because you can only run this takeover really on one court. That's it, which is once. The reason why I say this is because, well, you're gonna think, oh, but it's like a bucket 100% of the time. Well, it's a bucket 100% of the time on the ones court, because once you do that post spin with post spin technician, he's gonna drop to the floor. I can pick up on the twos court or on the threes court. I can't pick up on the ones court. Also in ones, it's make it, take it. So once he makes that bucket, he's gonna get the ball back. If you're scoring straight twos on me on the twos court, I'm gonna get a stop. If you're scoring straight twos on me on the threes court, you're not gonna win. That's the difference. On the twos court, if you score straight twos, I'm gonna eventually get a stop. You're doing it on the threes, you're just not gonna win the game. You have to score threes on the three score. It just doesn't make any sense. So I would say it's A tier. It's very good when it comes to playing it on one's court, but it's not like useful in any other category. But since it's so lethal on that one court, I have to give it an A tier. We all know that, because the second that the guy gets if somebody on you gets post scoring takeover and they're decent at the game, it's already usually RIP. It's been that since 2K19 when they introduced it, to be honest. Shot creating takeover, let's go with this next. I'm gonna go with B tier. The reason why I'm saying B tier and not anything above that is because it's so mid. Honestly, it's not better than lock take. The reason that's why I put it behind it, it's not better than lock take. It's not. It's a little bit worse though, because like with shot creating takeover, the only use it has compared to sharpshooting takeover is sharpshooting takeover. I feel like you can shoot perimeter shots better and you can shoot fading shots. feel like shot creating takeover, the only thing it has is fading shots. And even when I shoot with shot creating takeover, it doesn't even feel, it feels worse, to be honest, than sharpshooting takeover. It feels so much worse because I feel like the timing switches when you fade with shot creating takeover. The only useful thing it has, which is why I put it at B tier, is because you could drop people while doing it. You could spam hop step jumpers and then get an ankle breaker off of it and then get a wide open shot. It's dumb how people use it like that. I've seen dudes that use it like that. It's so stupid. Sharpshooting takeover, I'm gonna put it at an A tier. It's a good takeover, but it's like not even that good. Like, I feel like takeovers in this game, offensive takeovers in specific, are not good. They're not really that good. The only one that's good is slashing takeover, which I'm gonna go to in a minute. Sharpshooting takeover only helps you when it comes to shooting like open shots and getting a higher green window. The only thing that I feel like sharpshooting takeover does is give you a higher green window, and that is it. That's other than that, it doesn't really do much in my opinion. I feel like A tier is very solid for it because it's a good badge that everybody runs, but it doesn't, I feel like, give you that much of a boost as it should. But it's a really lethal takeover. The reason why I say it shouldn't give you that, the reason why I say that is because, like, the contest system in this game is already broken. So it doesn't make the contest system better for the guy with sharpshooting takeover. The contest system in this game is kind of bad. Dudes hit shots in eyes 24/7. There's, like, very any contest system. So I would have to just say that the sharpshooting takeover, even having it on, it doesn't help you shoot overheads. It only really upgrades the green window, and you see that when you have meter on. When you have meter on and you have sharpshooting takeover, that green window goes crazy, and it's an A tier for that. But what is an S tier, and the best takeover is slashing takeover. I do not care what anybody has to say. Slashing takeover is the most dumb, broken, take it out of the game, please, takeover. Or nerf it. The amount of guys I've seen just dunking on like everybody on the court is astronomical. It is so dumb how this badge works. You can hit whites with slashing takeover even without it slashing takeover. Dunking in this game is just broken, point blank. It's just broken as a whole. But the slashing takeover makes it even more 8. It makes it so 8. Like, you can have slashing takeover, and the green window is crazy when you meter dunk. The green window is out of this world. You can't miss. If you miss, you're just bad at the game. And you can activate it every single time. The only court I feel like slashing takeover doesn't have a use for as much is 3s courts. Because taking 2s on the 3s is not that useful unless if you're trying to build up takeover. Slashing takeover is only useful when you're running 1s and 2s, and that's it. The reason why I say 1s and 2s is because 1s and 2s make it take it. So you can take 2s over and over and over again. The reason why I put it though behind you, I say, why don't you just make it take it? Might as well just use post-scoring takeover. Because post-scoring takeover only makes you spin and then get away from the defender and they drop on the floor. That's the only thing it does. And gives you probably a little bit of a strength boost, but that's it. Slashing takeover, it makes you just like Michael Jordan and Vince Carter combined. It's the most broken takeover in the game. On the 3s court, it's still lethal, and it's still an S tier because of this. Just because on the 3s court, you can dunk 2 times and get takeover off of this dumb badge just because you have it. Just because you have it on. If you do 2 flashy dunks, you get this takeover. And then you have sharpshooting takeover now because you have both takeovers, and double takeover is a dumb mechanism that they added into the game. I feel like 2K23, the takeover system is so dumb. Mainly the slashing system, but that's a whole new topic. This is my tier list. If y'all want to make a tier list yourself and make a YouTube video off of it, do so, because it's kind of fun, honestly. You get to realize how broken the game is, really. Just a real quick header, conclusion. Playmaking Takeover is terrible. Classic Takeover is so bad, but it's not even that worth it. Don't even put it on. Lock Takeover, Rim Takeover is better. No point to put on Lock Takeover. Lock Takeover only really makes you better on the perimeter, and that's it. Rim Takeover helps you in the paint and make people miss dunks, which is more lethal on the 2s court and on the 3s courts. If you're locked out, just run both. Just glitch it. Like, the game's terrible either way. Shot creating takeover, it's kind of mid. If just that's like just mid. Post score takeover is lethal on 1s. It's still lethal on 1s that it deserve an A. Everybody runs shot shooting takeover. It's so decent. It deserves an A. S tier takeovers. What do I even have to say? Hope y'all love the video. Stay safe and peace out.